I have a collection of weird books and I want to share them with you today. I'd like to say, first of all, a lot of these are self-published books, and I know firsthand how much stress, anxiety, time, care, and love goes into these, so I don't really want to be taking the piss out of a self-published author, but I thought it would be fun to just check these books out together. I haven't read any of them except for an excerpt from Thunder Mountain Brides, The Outlaw School Teacher, which I read a section of during a very chaotic live stream at the start of quarantine. I have no idea what to expect, so if the subject matter gets a little too dodgy, I'm probably going to edit those sections out. I feel like we should start with this Thunder Mountain Bride series because it is my pride and joy. I do want to collect them all, and the covers are absolutely stunning. First of all, I want to draw your attention to this cover here that is heavily photoshopped, but it seems to me, for some reason, the most heavily photoshopped thing about it is the way the woman is sitting in this chair. Oh man, we gotta scope out the backs too, I totally forgot. This is the back of Hidden Secrets, Agnes. Agnes was willing to give her body and her soul to Nathaniel, but not her secret. Thunder Mountain was Edith's plan to escape the outlaw Benton gang. Her love for Zachary stood to ruin everything. So that's the Thunder Mountain Brides. I'm really hoping that there are more of these to come because I love them. The next one is The Princess and the Flesh Eaters, which actually has a little note taped into the front that says, "I would appreciate the comments of any reader of this book. There will be sequels. The author." And then he lists his address in California, where I live. And if you look at the copyright page, this book was actually published the year I was born in 1993. At some point, I think I should look into whether or not there actually are more sequels, but I should probably read the first one first. Then I found this one at a yard sale, and I'm a little scared of it, to be honest with you. It is called Older Woman. The front has a lot of text on it. It says, "Where could this woman-boy love affair lead? That nice young boy, he may be your neighbor's son or the kid down the street, but someday, someplace, some woman will make him a man." A novel starkly revealing what happens when an older woman teaches a young man about love. I don't know if this book is legal. By the way, there was no blurb on the back of The Princess and the Flesh Eaters. I found this book at a thrift shop, and I really thought the title of it when I saw it on the shelf was "Enjoy This Free Gift," and I was like, what a weird name for a book, but then I pulled it out and it turns out that it is Primary Suspect, Love-Inspired Suspense. The back says, "Wrongfully accused. When fire investigator Mitch Callahan is attacked at a crime scene, he's shocked to uncover the body of slain ex-girlfriend and realize someone's framing him for murder. Widowed ER nurse Dana Petrie believes Mitch is innocent, but to help him she must risk everything as they run from a ruthless killer. Their only chance at survival means uncovering the secrets an unknown enemy would do anything to keep buried. Uncover the truth in these thrilling stories of faith in the face of crime from Love-Inspired Suspense. Look for 6 new releases every month available at Barnes & Noble. 6 every month." I did get to about page 44 in this one, as you can see from my little tabbies. Get it? Because they're cats and they're tabs. So they're called tabbies. But I couldn't get any further than that because, like, wow. For having a dead body in the first 44 pages, this book was dull. Dang it. I feel like I want to start with this one. I'm just going to read you an excerpt and we're going to see how it goes. Flip to a random page. Alright, I'm on page 88. If anyone has a copy and wants to read along with me. The 2 women stopped talking and started walking back toward the spacecraft where the other women in their party had managed to entice some of the lesbians out from behind the trees. They were still frightened and gave the craft a wide berth as they walked past the rugs spread on the ground. Our women were telling them that they would never again have to fear the old council and could go back to the brown planet if they wanted to. Soon crowds of these strange, in parentheses lesbian, women gathered around our spacecraft and looked wonderingly at the blasted surface of the ground where the old leader's men had met ends, and at the pile of melted metal that had been her spacecraft. When they were really assured that we meant them no harm, we had trouble shooing them away so we could prepare to take off for the brown planet. Many of them clamored to be taken aboard with us when we left for their old home, but we could take only a relative few of them for obvious reasons. Among them were the 4 women who had first approached us, the tall, angular one, her 2 companions, and the young, pretty girl who, after I had looked at her more closely, was not only pretty, she was really beautiful. I was surprised. She was also quiet, and I noticed she had that steady, appraising look in her eyes when she looked at other people. We finally did get off on our way to the Brown Planet, and when, in a few hours, we reached our destination, a great crowd of people were waiting for us on their landing place. We had not been sure of just what kind of reception we'd receive, but it appeared that Zane, we finally learned the name of the woman with the bag, had been busy telling the people just what had happened and where their old leaders were. They seemed strangely unimpressed by this last news and milled around uncertainly. They reminded me a little of how the Russian people had reacted when their old communist system had collapsed many years ago. I had read of it, but now I was witnessing how a people reacted who had been told what to do for so long suddenly became leaderless. Zane finally had to produce Hela, who, she reminded them, was the great princess. My princess had to take an instrument that looked like a bullhorn, and was one. So say a bullhorn. Just say it's a bullhorn, and promise them she would appoint a new and more liberal council with Zane as its leader. They were happy with this arrangement and cheered lustily. My princess sent them home, talking excitedly among themselves. What? I did not expect any of this. This was thrilling. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to actually read this and review it, because I think I'm gonna read it anyway. This is the one I'm most concerned about. Older woman. Everyone has to have a first love. The high school sweetheart, the girl next door, the gal from the wrong side of town, the girl at the office, the casual acquaintance, gone tomorrow. Who knows where a young man may suddenly find himself? Andy McNeil entered college eager to conquer not only ignorance, but innocence. Diana Edgeworth, freshman co-ed, became the target of his most feverish dreams. Seductive, taunting, teasing, she delighted in the flames of passion she aroused in Andy, but, for reasons of her own, would not satisfy. It was like pouring salt on an open wound when his roommate edged in and seemed on the verge of conquest. Bordering on despair, Andy was fair game for Nancy Foster, the professor's wife whose sultry voice and symmetric figure had once made her husband's pulses leap and his body ache with desire. But time had cooled his ardor and reduced his love-making to pallid acquiescence, leaving her at dangerously loose ends. Sensing Andy's desperate needs, driven by her own frustrations, Nancy plunged them both into a torrid affair. Under her skillful tutoring, 18-year-old Andy suddenly burst into violent realization of all his male prowess. But, reacting with the fury of a female scorned, Diana tempted fate once too often, and, playing with fire with the boys in town, she found out, too late, that they played for keeps. Can a mature, sophisticated woman and a young, eager man really fall in love? Or is there another name for it? Pardon? Does someone get murdered in this book? Because I feel like someone's going to get murdered in this book, and I feel like it's going to be Diana. First of all, it has the price on the cover. It was 50 cents, and it's got like a little, you can cut out in the back and send that in to say like what books you want to order from them. Other Beacon books you will enjoy: The Mattress Game. Janice had everything designed for pent-up passions. Brad Smith decided that he would have Janice for himself. The story of an opportunist who made an industry of pleasure. His best friend's wife. Diane had violet eyes and the kind of ripe womanhood that was irresistible to her husband's friends. A biting novel that delves into the perils of adultery. Lusting Woman. What were they after? Why were they throwing themselves at Pete? Rarely is a novel so outspoken about the male as prey and the female as predator. The Running Girls, a daring story of those wild Cuban women fleeing our shores, desperately seductive and ready for anything. A story of the turmoil that lust and avarice can bring that feels very racially insensitive. Oop. After Hours. Ginny learned that her tantalizing glory was not meant for just one man. She was that rare breed with beauty enough and heart enough to be shared by many. I mean, Ginny sounds like a 2020 kind of lady. Get it, Ginny. Girl on a Couch. Gay's analyst tried... What? Oh, the name is Gay. Gay's analyst tried to cure her, but fell victim to her instead, for he was only a man, and she was a nymphomaniac! Sex Pack. It was an ordinary high school, but it had an extraordinary after-hours club. Some of these I don't think I can read. I think I'll get canceled for having the words leave my mouth. Love Fever. His pretty patients got special treatment. The revealing story of the sex-hungry, wealthy, and glamorous patients of a philandering psychiatrist. I'm going to hazard a guess and say that there are some issues with consent in a lot of these. Ah, I hate it. I'm upset. There's a lot more, but I think I've reached my capacity for this kind of disturbing. I would like to cry now, please. Some of these are circled, so it looks like whoever owned this book originally was getting ready to order Community of Women, 4 wanting wantons, marooned in modern suburbia, stewing in their own desires. April North. She was given a postgraduate course in lust before she was through high school. Yike. I think I need to burn that one. So the last 2 books we have are my Thunder Mountain Brides series, and I'm a little torn because I want to read a random excerpt, but I also want to do these justice. These mean a lot to me. You don't understand. I think my next video is going to be a look exclusively at my good friends, the Thunder Mountain Brides. So, comment below if you want me to do a thorough review of any of the other books that I took a little sneak peek at, and I will probably dig into those. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. It's just Alice LaFay on both. I post videos of my cats all the time. It's pretty good. I also have an Etsy shop where I sell things like this mug of a rabbit smoking a cigarette. Talk about a bad rabbit! Hey, it's post-editing Alice. Today is my book's first birthday, so I'm doing a giveaway on my Instagram. So if you wanted to start your own bizarre book collection, you can go over there and enter. All you have to do is comment and tag a friend that also might be interested. And that's it, you're entered. Cool. Okay, bye.